Hi, my name is Jessica Wolf, and today I'm going to be doing a quick demonstration on why it's important to never start smoking marijuana. Never start smoking marijuana. This demonstration is meant for adults, preteens, kids, if they're at that age where they're mature enough to understand the concept of not smoking marijuana. Because I mean, it's really the kids that are being targeted to smoke. So this video is really intended for everyone who is mature enough to understand that smoking is something that we should not start. And if you have already started, stay tuned till the end because it's not too late to stop. All right, so I'm going to be using my son's blocks as a prop in this demonstration. I just want to start by saying that in order to understand why it's important not to start smoking, and it's important to stop smoking, is that God has an amazing plan for everyone's life. Sometimes if you're in this state where you are already smoking, it's hard to think that there's something that's supposed to be so much better than what you have, because you might be in a mental place of believing that everything is great, everything is fine, and how could it get any better than this? And that's exactly a lie from the enemy, wanting you to believe that the bubble that you're in right now is as good as it gets, because it gets so much better when you give up all of the things that you are attached to, or everything you're addicted to, or any type of relationship that you might have with the enemy. When you give that up and you decide to rely on God for His blessing, His abundance, and His covering, your life will greatly improve. Even if you can't see how it could get better, it will, and it does. So this is what you're born with. This is everything that you're born with, every talent. Oh, you're great at reading? Okay. Oh, you're really nice. You're really great at teaching people how to play sports and athletics. Okay, cool. You're really talented at um, planting stuff. Oh, you're talented at building Legos that could lead to a future in being an architect or something. Wow, okay. Oh, you take a lot of pride in your health. Oh, here we are. You care deeply about being resourceful, and you like to build contraptions on things that can be reused. Oh, you really care about um, teaching business teaching business courses. That's that one right there. And here's everything that you're good at. Oh, you like to horseback ride, and everything from your childhood until through your senior years, all the little interests that you're going to take place in engaging in, all of the special qualities and attributes and characteristics that you will have that will build up who you are to become in Christ, and how Christ is going to use you to do something that is not only going to be beneficial to you and your family, but it's going to be beneficial to the people around you, whether it be your community or the nation. And not everyone's calling is to be, some phenomenal doctor or something phenomenal in that sense. You could have a calling to do something like write a book, and that book can be the building block of a concept in the future that could create some sort of new invention or something. Everyone has a little piece of the puzzle, and together that's going to make it so that God's glory can be found on this earth in the future, and so the enemy doesn't steal away God's glory from this earth. So this is what you're born with. You're born full of all your blessings. And when you start coming into the age of being able to make decisions for yourself, depending on what those decisions are, let's say when you get into your kind of adolescence, teenage years, that's when you particularly start making your own serious decisions with your life. You know, you're going to start to have access to more things that can make more drastic changes in your life that affect your future. Today we're going to be talking about marijuana specifically. When you start smoking marijuana, many things will start happening in your life, and it'll seem like the marijuana is actually a is actually something that is helping with all the things that are going on in your life, when really it is the source of why you are starting to see things become depleted in your life, whether it be relationships, finances, things that you used to be good at that you just can't seem to, you're not so sharp at anymore, losing interest in things that you once loved, struggling to maintain a healthy relationship with your parents. Things will become depleted in your life, and that will, and the trick of the enemy is that he will sell you marijuana in a way to make you believe that the marijuana is going to make you deal with the things that you can't control in a way that's beneficial to you. So, hey, the enemy is going to push someone along your path, and that person's gonna go, hey, you know, smoke some weed. It's gonna make you feel better about that argument that you have with your parents. It's gonna make you feel better about those grades that are, you know, that one test that you didn't do too well on. It's gonna make you feel better about the fact that you didn't make the cut for varsity, and that you are gonna be still on the junior team. And it's gonna make you feel better about all these things. Go ahead and just have a little bit. That is how the enemy initiates himself into your life. He's going to make you believe that the marijuana is going to counteract what is happening in your life in a way that's beneficial to you. When you start smoking marijuana, the enemy is going to start taking away from your blessings. The enemy is jealous of you. He is jealous that you have a fresh start when you were born, that you were born pure, that you were born innocent, that you were born blessed, that you were born with an abundance of talent, abundance of potential, an abundance of blessings. And when he sees that you have this new fresh start, this new potential, he gets jealous because he blew it long ago, and he forfeited his relationship with God, and that forfeit his blessings, his abundance, and he will never have these again. He is bankrupt of a relationship from God. So how he wants to get back at you is to take away what God's given you. And he feels that if he can steal that, it is as though he is being blessed. He's going to rob you of what God gave you because he can't get anything from God anymore. And that's how the enemy works. And he can legally operate to do that. Because when we decide to make decisions that go against relying on God for our troubles, for our worries, for our ailments, for our emotions that we might, you know, for feeling sad, if we decided, hey, I'm not going to rely on God, I'm going to rely on marijuana. When you make that distinction in your life and you are repeatedly relying on what the enemy has for you, then you are creating a relationship with the enemy and allowing him access into your life. And when you allow him access into your life, he has a key to your storeroom, and he can come and operate and pick and prune away as he feels necessary at the blessings in your life. So when you start smoking marijuana, things in your life will start to change. Is it going to be that same day? Is it going to be that same night? It could be. It might not be. Because the thing about the enemy is, he doesn't want you to ever believe that it's the marijuana that is causing your blessings, to start to unravel, to start to decay, and start to kind of like go wrong. He doesn't want you to believe that the chaos in your life that you're experiencing, or the negative experiences, is because of the marijuana. because he doesn't want to blow his cover. He wants to be in a relationship with you. The marijuana is an access point to you. It's a relationship. It's saying, hey, I have this for you, and I'm giving you the temporary relief from the marijuana. And from that, I'm not going to tell you, but because I gave you something, see, I'm going to have to go ahead and help myself to what you got now. The enemy doesn't tell you it that way, though. The world won't even tell you it that way. The world will not tell you that when you start smoking marijuana, you have given the enemy an access point to your blessings for him to take what he wants and not tell you, and just go ahead and take and take and take from your blessings, the blessings that will provide you the life, the security, the love, the happiness, the everything that you want. He's going to go ahead and take that from you in exchange for a temporary feeling of comfort. And that's what the world fails to tell people. This is a visual demonstration that when you smoke marijuana, it's not just a high that's happening. It's not just a temporary relief that's happening. It's not just laughs and kikis and ha-has and good times that are happening. The movies will show you the teenagers having a good time at the party. They're smoking marijuana. They're having a good time. Wow, that looks like such a good time. And they're going to show you in all the movies these teenagers or young adults having a good time smoking marijuana. That's not the reality of smoking marijuana. That is a lie from the enemy. The lie is that there will be a temporary satisfaction and there's going to be a long-term consequence when you are unable to put the pieces together in your life. You no longer have the building blocks that it's going to require for you to be the amazing thing that God has planned for you. That is what the enemy does. He will take from your health, from your wealth, and from your abundance. And he will not tell you. You might not notice it's happening at first, but sooner or later you're gonna I have this weird cough, or I got this weird feeling in my stomach all the time, or I get inflammation. I can't run as much as I used to. Yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm just not into it anymore. Oh, I didn't make the team. I really don't care about being a cheerleader anymore. I'm not into it. Like, all that practice, all that focus, and I just don't want to have to do that anymore. I don't really care about that anymore. Babysitting. Yeah, I don't really care about babysitting anymore. I'm not really into it. These kids are kind of too much for me, and I'd rather just hang out with my friends all weekend and smoke and party and do all the other things I like to do. Oh, marijuana, that can't be the reason why I didn't hold my job. My boss was so mean to me and rude, and he didn't deserve to have me there anyway. So yeah, I don't have a job for now, but it's not weed that caused it. It's just the fact that my boss, he was rude to me. Marijuana is going to take things from you in a way where you're not going to notice that it's the marijuana. It's just going to be a series of events, another argument with your parents, your health is declining, you're no longer doing that well in your grades, you're no longer interested in the things that you used to be interested in. And when the enemy knows exactly and strategically how to take from you in a way where you are no longer able to mold what you have going on over here to become the thing you're supposed to become. There's going to be missing bricks. Imagine building a wall and there's just bricks missing, and then setting something heavy on top of that, like the burden of the responsibility of having a serious calling in your life. The bricks will collapse underneath that. You have to have a solid foundation. God gives you everything to have a solid foundation. His word is a solid foundation. Everything he blesses you with is a solid foundation. His protection over your life is a solid foundation. And when you focus and you shift on allowing the enemy to have an access point to you, you no longer have a solid foundation that you can build something upon. You could build something upon it, but it's not going to be the calling that you have for your life. It's not going to be something of the magnitude that God has for you. The enemy is going to have a little something for you, just enough to keep you doing what you're doing, having in a relationship with him. Meanwhile, he's going to take everything of serious value from you. The thing about smoking marijuana is that the enemy can be in a relationship with you over a long period of time. The thing is, people aren't dying outright from smoking marijuana. It's the perfect way for the enemy to say, hey, as long as you're smoking, could be for a year, could be for 30 years, could be for 50 years. I'm going to be in a relationship with you, and I'm going to be able to take from you, and you'll survive. Yeah, you're going to survive the whole time. You are going to stay alive for me to take everything away from you. I will keep you alive as long as I can take everything that you have, and slowly, little by little, take everything from you. That's the trick of marijuana. You're going to stay alive for the purpose and the intention of the enemy continuing to have access to anything that you put your hands on. You have a good idea. Oh, we're going to add to your storehouse, and the enemy is going to open it up at night, and he's going to go ahead. Don't have that good idea. You don't have the focus to really be able to see that one out, so we're just going to go ahead and take away from you. He's going to take from that. You got into a relationship with that nice person, that person who loves the Lord. Not for you, because that's going to get you off track with me, and they're probably going to make it so you're going to stop smoking. So we got to make sure that relationship doesn't do too good. So we're just going to go ahead and cancel that. I'm going to leave you with this. That friendship you got with the guy that has a really good plan for that business. Yeah, well, I don't like where that's going, because that takes you off track and off focus with the relationship with me. So we're going to go ahead and take that. The enemy will leave you with little to none. When you get to this point where you have very little left of God's blessings, you're just hanging on a mustard seed. Your life is just hanging by a hope. You're going to experience depression. You could experience psychosis. You could experience just not balanced emotions. You're going to look around and have burned bridges with people, including family members. You're going to look around and go, I might have blown it there, and there. I probably could have kept that job. I probably would have been fine if I didn't say that thing to my boss that one day. Oh, that friendship, I probably could have. I didn't mean to blow up on her that day that she borrowed my car and didn't return it. And she returned it 10 minutes too late. I probably didn't need to yell at her for that. It's going to make you, when you are here at almost rock bottom, you're going to be in a position where God's going to say, so now what? What are you going to do with what you have left? All you have is nothing. You have me, and you have the person that stole from you. What are you going to decide? You will be in a position where it's going to dawn on you, is this working for me? I don't know where it went wrong, but this can't be what life is about. This can't be. God, this can't be what you got for me. This can't be it. This can't be all there is. This don't feel great. What's life for if it's this? Why do I feel terrible every day? Why is it that I have issues forming relationships? Why is it every time I put my hands on something, it disappears right out of my life? Why is it that, I have issues with, the way I communicate with people? It seems like people just run from me as if, I'm on fire. Why is it that everywhere I turn, it's just not working out for me? Then God will be there. God will be there. He's been there the whole time, and he's been watching you go, doing your transactions with the enemy. He's just going, shaking his head like, there he goes, taking that. I blessed her with that, and here goes the enemy, taking it right out of her storehouse, taking the blessings right up out her life. There's the enemy again. But God will sit back, because guess what? You have free will to make decisions in this world. God gives you free will. God gives you the decision to decide if you're going to serve him or not. He doesn't make you serve him. He don't want a petty love. He's not going to say, you have to serve me, and then you're like, fine, I'll serve you since you're making me. That God doesn't want that. If you're about it, you're in. If you're not about it, he's just gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna wait until you're about it. I'm gonna wait till you're about serving me because I don't want a petty relationship with you." When you're ready to turn your life around, when you're at this point or this point, you're gonna go, "You know what, God, save me because I don't like this no more. This is not fun anymore. I'm done being robbed. I'm done feeling this way. I'm done feeling like I'm hopeless and helpless." God will say, "Okay, so I'm here. I've been here this whole time. What do you say you give me a fair chance, just as you've given the enemy a fair chance? Why don't you focus on me the way you focus on the enemy? Why don't you give me all the time and attention that you've been giving to the kingdom of darkness? Why don't you bring it back on over here and give me all the time and attention that you've been giving to the enemy and give it to me and serve me and be loyal to me and be faithful to me and rely on me and receive blessings from me?" At that point, you'll go, "It's worth a shot because I have really nothing to lose. Really got nothing to lose here. Not much going on." God will go, "Okay, let's start. Start little by little." God doesn't require you to go cold turkey, be filled with the Holy Spirit, praying all day, reading the Bible all day, and going to church and having all church friends and turning your life around in a matter of a blink of an eye. He does things little by little. All right, let's start with praying. I want you to be in communication with me. I want you to pray when you wake up. I want you to tell me what's on your thoughts. Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me what's on your heart. And I want you to do that at night too. Start there. God's not going to overwhelm you. He's not going to do it. He knows where you're at. He knows you're brittle, and He's not going to put a burden on you. He's going to make it light for you to be in relationship with you. For Him to be in a relationship with you. He says, "My yoke is easy, my burden is light." A yoke is His attachment to you. He's not going to pull at you. He's not going to drag you and say, "Come serve me." That's not our God. He goes, His hand is out. His yoke is easy. His connection to you is easy. It's light. His burden is light. He's not going to require more than what you're capable of in any moment. His burden is light. Okay, right now, I see that you're just capable of just doing 2 prayers a day. That's good start for, that's plenty for right now. And then eventually it's going to gradually build and build. Okay, so now she's reading the word. Okay, good. Now she's reading the word consistently. Great. Now she stopped, cussing so much. She gave up the marijuana. Okay, now God will slowly add the blessings and take away the frustration. God will slowly add the blessings and take away the enemy's attachments to you. He's going to start lifting that off of you. Start lifting off the bondage that you are in. God is going to start adding blessings and taking away. And then before you know it, you become more and more confident. You become more and more focused on the Lord. It becomes easier to be in communication with God. You become more and more light, free. You become more abundant. God starts restoring you when you begin to restore your relationship with God. He starts restoring your abundance. Little by little, He's going to start adding back to you. Little by little, with your discipline and your focus, He's going to restore your blessings. Everything the enemy took from you, God can restore. And that's the amazing thing. It's never too late. It's never too late for God to restore everything the enemy took from you. All those talents, all that focus, all of those attributes and characteristics and talents and health and abundance, financial abundance. It could be abundance in relationships. It could be abundance in opportunities, God can restore everything and bless you above that. God's blessings, there's no cap to it. So God can take back, say, okay, the enemy took all this from you through our relationship. Now that I got you refocused, let's get you back everything he took you now, like took from you. Let's go on and get it back. All right, let's get it all back. Okay, now that you're built up, confident, you have discernment, you know how the enemy operates now, you know what to say no to, you know what to say yes to. You can see me guiding you now. You can be led by the Holy Spirit now. God will give you that intuition so that you know what direction to go with your life now. Now that you're refocused on God and you're in a relationship with God, he can restore you and he can bless you beyond your imagination. There is nothing that the enemy has for you that God is not going to have an exceptionally abundant more for you. Even if you were to do something like, if you were to sell marijuana and you were to make a lot of money from it, you could think to yourself, well, it's legal, but I go to church. I'm in a financial position to be a blessing to my church or anyone that comes my way. I'm making a lot of money in this business. So it's not that bad. I'm actually a blessing to everyone around me. It can't really get much better than this, but it can. And it will, and it does. When you give up your association with the enemy, God can restore everything that was taken from you, even in the sense of moral compass, ethics. God can restore your mind to be able to see how our decisions affect people on a greater scale. God can restore your mind to go, you know what? It's probably not the most wise thing to do this. I want to do something with my life where I can be a blessing continually for the people in my community and the people around me. I want to be a blessing of abundance from God, not abundance from the enemy. I don't want to be a person who gets their blessings from doing business with the enemy. I want to be a person who gets my blessings that will not be stolen from me behind my back from God, someone that can add to my blessings exceptionally, exceptionally, and exceptionally with no cap to how much he can bless you. So that is a visual demonstration of what it looks like to start smoking marijuana, how it affects your life, how it transforms your mind and your lifestyle, and how through a relationship with God, you can get everything back and you can be blessed beyond. How do I know this? One, this happened to me. This happened to me. This happens to millions of people who start smoking marijuana. They believe it's beneficial to them. Their life course gets thrown off, and then everything gets restored and everything comes back to them abundantly. I that is my testimony, and that's the testimony of millions of people. There's so many people who smoke right now and they want to quit. And it's hard to understand why you shouldn't start, and a good enough reason to stop smoking if you don't understand that you are in a relationship with the enemy and that he is using your relationship with him to take from you. Every time you decide to engage in smoking, you are pinched out of your abundance, your wealth, your health. Each and every time a currency, a transaction is taking place with the enemy. Each and every time. Imagine every time you smoke thinking, is it worth giving up a piece of the awesome parts of me for this temporary satisfaction? Just because I'm stressed, just because I'm with friends, just because I'm hanging out, just because it's what we do? Is it worth it? If you were to ask yourself that every time you smoked, that would be a good enough reason to not do it. That would be a good enough reason to say, hey, I don't think this is worth it anymore, or I don't think it's worth it to ever start it to begin with. You have to have a good enough and clear enough reason on why to stop or why to never start in order to protect what God has blessed you with. You have to be clear in your mind on why it's important to never start, because the world will give you thousands and thousands of reasons why you should start smoking today. The world is only pouring out reasons to start smoking. Seldom are we hearing about a bunch of reasons why you should not smoke. And those reasons are superficial, reasons that people could easily convince themselves won't affect them. Oh, smoking is shown to cause headaches and dehydrations. Well, I'll just drink extra water. Those reasons are not good enough for someone to stop smoking, and those reasons are not good enough to convince someone to not start smoking. Do not give the enemy any access to the blessings that God has given you. And thanks for watching this video. Please like and share to parents with kids. Kids are at the age appropriate enough to understand that they shouldn't be smoking marijuana. Send it to your friends who smoke marijuana. Send it to your friends who might to be smoking marijuana. Send it to your other parent friends who have kids or maybe teenagers that they can share this video with. I really want this video to get into the hands of people who are going to get this message out, because it is so important that in this world of where there's more and more and more access to this particular drug, that people have a firm reason to not engage in smoking marijuana. Thank you all. Have a blessed day.